Grand Rising Soul Fam. So today I am coming on sharing from the Tao Oracle by Ma Deva Padma. Today I am contemplating Jinki 20. This is the shadow of self-assurance. Nope, sorry, that's the gift. This is the shadow of superficiality. This is the gift of self-assurance. And this is the divine expression of presence. This is one of my favorites. This contemplation from the I Ching says, presence is clarity of unity. Self-assurance is intuitive orientation. Superficiality is unease in dislocation. The intention of receptivity. And in the oracle, in the Tao Oracle, this is Jinki 20, or hexagram 20, contemplation. Contemplation just happens to be one of my very favorite things. Contemplation is how we digest the zeros and ones, how we transmute the data into artistic creation and expression. So a couple keywords says gaining overview, detached observation, increased understanding, solitude, and integration through reflection. One of my favorite things to do. We just had a plant medicine ceremony here on the land this weekend, which is always so beautiful just to get in that sustained place of enlightenment where the veil is fully removed and you get to play and experience the oneness without any disillusion of separation. And what makes these experiences so meaningful is the integration, is the digestion, is the contemplation of getting to reflect on everything that you experienced. And one of the things that I deeply experienced was this particular hexagram. Okay, so let's read about it. It says, an enlightened perspective doesn't differentiate between the self and the whole of existence. There are no lines of separation. The approach is one of, I am all that I perceive. All that is resides in me. This is a time for reflecting upon life, retreating from activity and involvement with a busy mind, and experiencing the profound nature of cool detachment. Retreating into the silence and majesty of nature fills the cup of being to overflowing, lightens the mind, and brings serenity to the heart. The wise know that there is a time for everything, including time for contemplation. They accept things naturally as they are without feeling the need to make improvements. Humbled by the awesome luminosity and perfection of isness that is Tao, they approach these times of solitude with reverence. As long as we are living life by speeding over the surface, we never have a chance to visit the depths. Often we move from one event to another without taking the time to reflect on the influence of each of those events on our lives. In doing so, we cheat ourselves of the enrichment of experience that comes from taking the time to pause from our daily activities and take stock. Changes are not always obvious. They can move silently from hidden streams from deep within the being. We miss so much when we become estranged from silence. It's far too easy when we're busy and preoccupied to take life for granted and forget that it's a gift. The willingness to participate silently in nature's rhythmic unfolding and to receive her revelations will realign you with wonder. Contemplative observation will strengthen and center you. Once you have learned the knack of discerning wisdom, you can see through any darkness. It's finally possible to be at home with who you are, wherever you are. You no longer feel like an outsider to life as though you're waiting for something to happen or someone to invite you into the play. Now is the time to contemplate the inner realms of your being, to become familiar with the landscape of yourself, to recognize what your truths are today and nourish them. Let go of any past patterns of behavior and activity that no longer have relevance. You might be surprised to discover that profound shifts have been taking place in your consciousness while you're busy making other plans. This time of contemplation is like a gap between the in-breath and the out-breath, a precious interval that sustains the very flow and vitality of life. A contemplative space can be facilitated by meditating on a symbol, a work of art or music, your own heartbeat, or one of my favorites, the sound of silence. Experiencing an atmosphere of contemplation does not necessarily mean venturing into nature, but it surely helps. That's where I'm headed to after this. Be like the full moon now, silent and serene. Reflect the world, but remain at a distance from it. You'll taste a very different quality once you perceive yourself, your life, and all of nature as complete and whole and intimately conjoined. So here are the changes. You may feel that you resonate with one, or maybe two, or maybe you've gone the journey of going cascading through all of them. So let's see. Bottom line, the way to know whether what you're doing is contemplation or just thinking about is to look at what insights you've gained from it. Thinking about something might lead you to a more detailed understanding of a particular event, but contemplation leads you to understanding how this event is related to the larger pattern of your life, and ultimately of life as such. If you've been just thinking about contemplating something lately, it might be time to try the real thing. Line 2. We all start out in life by thinking that we are the center of the universe, and soon progress to thinking, everyone's just like me. In a sense, both observations are true, but to experience the reality of this truth, as opposed to the childish fantasy of it, means that you have to spend a lot of time outside the confines of your own private world. Make sure you know the difference before you reach any conclusions about your understanding of the people and events that surround you. Line 3. Meditation, self-reflection, and detached observation provide the experience of being at home at the center of oneself. From there, you can begin to observe objectively the effects of your actions on the world around you. If you don't like what you see, take it as a signal to spend more time in being at home. Line 4. Unless you allow yourself periods of stillness and time for reflection, all your activity will become increasingly frantic until finally you're simply forced to stop in exhaustion. There's no need. The best way to benefit from your day-to-day experiences is to take advantage of times of contemplation, to reflect on them, thereby deepening your conscious understanding. Line 5. The future always unfolds out of the present moment. If you really want to know what's going to happen, then start paying attention to what is happening now. And top line, line 6. Some people seem blessed with a natural ability to step aside from their own self-interest and look at what's most beneficial for the whole. If you have this ability, now is the time to use it. Even if there's no specific action to be taken at the moment, just your very clarity of vision will be contagious. There we go. Love a little hermit mode so you can digest the day, the season. We're about to have the equinox soon. This is a beautiful time. If you haven't let everything that no longer serves release with the full moon, now's a time to continue to process what you're releasing, what you're letting go of before this equinox portal. Sending you so much love. Namaste.